like butter.
There's these fancy little shoes, and you want to make sure you turn. Organization. Key. What is up, guys? Welcome to the third episode of Backwards Garage. Thank you guys for watching. Before we get started, just make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Today we have a lot of parts on the Z. Over here we have the rest of the hydro stuff going on. So we got pads. I got another set of pads because I'm going to be changing the original calipers, those pads in there.
Tell them what our goal is today. What are we doing today?
Our goal today is to get the hydro hooked up completely. So everything like done with the braking system.
Complete the hydro kit.
Yep, we got calipers, new rotors, GKTech. They delivered their dual caliper bracket.
That is
super nice.
Piece.
Seems like it's built high quality. And then also axle spacers, which I'm going to be chatting with you guys about the axle spacers and how to measure those. It was a little confusing when I at first ordered everything. I reached out to GKTech, they told me what I needed, but I'm gonna show you how to do that and everything. So I don't think there's anything else. Let's just get right to the video.
Be very gentle. Yes.
Gentle.
Be gentle. We need to save these for...
Gentle.
Yes, very gentle. That's not gentle.
Nope. Gentle. Huh. Hit it a couple times.
Now that we are breathing asbestos.
Up here, measure. Again, suspension. So lower the car, wheels on it, of course, and everything. And then you load the suspension, crawl underneath, and there'll be this gap. You want to measure this gap. Mine came out to 6.35 millimeters, that gap. So you do that, plus the 7 millimeter GKTech bracket kit. That bracket's 7 millimeters. So you add those two together. So that would be 13.35, yeah, 13.35 millimeters. I emailed them and said, would I need the 10 or 15? They told me I could run either, but having that little bit of play there, they recommended the 10. That would probably be the better one. So I got the 10 millimeter. That's how you come up with the millimeter spacer, axle spacer that you need when you're installing this kit. so we got everything off of the brake system. So you got the e-brake, we took the wheel bearing, the axle, the dust shield, everything off. This is what it looks like. We're gonna be cleaning this up. Good old Wisconsin weather. Corrosion, rust is super common.
Yummy.
So we're gonna go ahead and clean that up, but as you can see, you're gonna have a pile of parts right here. Make sure you keep things organized. Now, GKTech kit, we unboxed it here. Want to explain it because it can be a little confusing. They have a really good video online, but this is real life. So you get the 2 caliper brackets. You get some coarse threaded ones, some fine threads, etc. So this is, long story short, what everything is. These long ones with the fine thread are for your wheel bearing, installing your wheel hub. These short ones, coarse threads, are for calipers. Same with these long fine threads, and these are fine threads, excuse me. Both for calipers. So you're gonna use, obviously, 2 short, 2 long on each side. These coarse ones are for 350Zs that have Brembo brakes. So we're not gonna be using those. Definitely save them though. Worth having in case I wanna convert to Brembo or not. I can just use them for something else, whatever. And then spacers, because your caliper bracket is offsetting where your stock bracket is. So you use these spacers on the stock bracket to make sure they're evenly squared. And then obviously a bunch of washers because we need them. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna clean everything up on the car, I think, and then we're gonna get these brackets installed, and then we can start finishing the lines on the hydro, flaring those. We got rubber hoses too, getting the calipers all squared away, and make it happen. They actually gave Ebrake studs. You can see the difference here in length. They go out, what would you think, Cameron? Probably half an inch, well, yeah, half an inch, something like that, longer. Like that. So when if you were to just bolt these in with these original studs, the threads come out like, what do you think?
2, 3, maybe
2, 3 threads,
4 threads if you're on a lucky day.
In the old, I know in the install on GKTech, it looks like they were just installing it with their old studs, but they must have came up with a new design where they added these studs. So really slick. Don't forget to hammer those ones out, put these ones in so we can get the e-brake hooked up. Wanted to make sure I pointed this out. Right here, you can see it, and keep in mind, this is just a thing we found out. It's a pain in the butt, I saved myself there, with my exhaust way it's set up and everything. So we are actually installing the axle prior to putting the e-brake back in. But this axle spacer, you want to make sure the step side, so you got 2 sides, a flat side and a step side. Step side sits there flush. You want to make sure that, and then you just shove your axle through. So we put together the wheel bearing and all this. This is kind of how it looks. We haven't put in the e-brake yet, of course, but bracket should look like this, calipers clear, etc. And then obviously this side is going to be fine. So
And this is sits inwards out here to offset. And then we have those spacers for the regular brakes.
And then the spacers will sit right here. So we'll show you guys that in a minute. We're gonna go ahead and get the rest of this stuff bolted up and then start putting the brakes together. Done here. I'm going to show you what we did. Ended up getting the second caliper on, got the pads, everything like that. One thing that we didn't get to yet, and we're going to be doing it here, we just need to notch this axle nut so we can get the cotter pin all the way through. We're just short on time here, and we're going to save it for another video, so this is going to stay on the rack for now.
Yeah, we'll show them this side. This looks fantastic. What a good kit.
Yeah, and honestly, so I got to give huge props to GKTech. They came up with a really good kit. Everything bolted up flawlessly. Their install video is good, bolts, everything.
It's very true. I didn't really think about that. We had no issues installing this at all.
The hardest part of this whole thing, I'll say, is the Ebrake.
The Ebrake
cables. I stabbed myself. That felt good. But we had no issues. Seriously, it's a great kit. I would highly recommend it to anyone. Spacers, seems like everything works good with the axles too. Everything's good there. So
yep, everything's bolted up. I updated on that. Bolted up and tight. Both the axles. Yep. Spaced out just fine in here. Everything lines up. Yeah. It looks great.
So we're actually going to make this a part 3 episode. So this is actually going to be part 2 of the hydro install. Right now we're at a stopping point. Next video we're going to finish flaring the lines, get everything hooked up, show you guys how to bleed the hydro e-brake, and then hopefully go out there and test it, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah. I'm very, very excited. We got this line still sitting here waiting for us.
Yep. And we're actually going to put some rubber around this line, and then we're going to bolt everything up, so it's going to be protected.
We're also putting a grommet up there,
stuff like that. So
we're also putting a grommet up there, a little rubber one, so that way that doesn't just rub against that hole we cut.
We found some 3/8 grommets as well, so we're going to put some rubber on there, grommets, and should be all set. But that's going to be everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Peace.